I'm not putting pressure up, I'm just holding it like that. This video I'm gonna record this video to talk about some options that you might have and you don't know of. We're replacing. We have an issue with this instrument cluster we have an issue with the car. It's a 2002 Jaguar X type. All right. The instrument cluster, the original one, is this one. It looks like it's got some water damage, some intrusion. So this instrument cluster does not detect the anti-theft antenna, right? So it generates a code for that, and I'm not able to. I haven't looked into repairing this. I try to stay away from water damage. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to do something else. Okay, there is something else that you could try to do instead of what I'm doing, and that'll be to read the information inside this microcontroller, save it on your computer, and then, well, the other way, read it out of this one and put it on this one, right? And that will make this unit a clone of this other unit. I did a video the other day about how to replace an EEPROM, which is it was like an 8-pin SOIC EEPROM, just like this one right here. But now I'm gonna attempt to do something else. We're gonna replace the actual microcontroller, okay? So the only reason why I have my the soldering gun here is because I'm gonna remove the stepper motor so we don't damage it with the heat. And I'm gonna set this up to my number 3, which is supposed to be between 450 and supposed to be 450 degrees. So first thing we're gonna do is remove that stepper motor. That's what we're gonna attempt to do first. Okay. There. The other one, gonna be this right here. I'm just checking, see if they're free. Okay, and seems to be it. I'm just gonna leave it on the floor for now. So we're gonna push from this end. That's one of them, and this is the other one. So, just in case I didn't mention it, the only reason why we're doing this is to transfer all the information from this unit into this unit. Like I said, there is some tools that you can use to read it and then program the other one, which will be acceptable. This time I'm gonna just change out the microcontroller. There is some components that are missing that we noted the other day. It's this section right here, but they're not programmed. There's nothing special about them. So if we are able to get the engine running with by doing this, I'll just go ahead and transfer the rest of the components, which it's basically no big deal. So what I'm gonna do here, number one, I always mark my components. Whatever I'm gonna remove, I always mark them. And can you focus in here?
Yeah, I can see
Can you
it.
zoom it? Can
Yeah.
you zoom into this? Okay. So, as you can read, if you can read these numbers, this is a Motorola microcontroller. That's the mask, 0K75F. If you can read them from left to right, top to bottom, just like you read a book. The bottom left corner, that's your P number 1, okay? And as you can see, I put a mark in there. And I also marked my board. I always do it like that. Never had any problems. If you want to take a picture, identify it, in any other way you want to do, you're free to do the way you want to handle it. This is the microcontroller that we're going to use, and we're going to put it on the other unit. So we're going to start by desoldering that microcontroller, so we have it ready by the time we got to put it on the other board. Almost forgot about it. Let's take a picture. Promise you that's gonna save you from a lot of headache. Always. I rarely use them, but sometimes when I do, I'm really glad that I have them. So I have my soldering iron at about 480 degrees, and we're just gonna heat up the microcontroller. Depending on the temperature and depending on the flow, the airflow, that's what's going to take. I'm not putting pressure up, I'm just holding it like that. Right, and that's it for this piece. We're gonna do the other board. On this board, I actually taped around the microcontroller just to keep those components in place, and that's going to save you from blowing those components away. We're going to repeat the same process. Don't rush this. It'll come off when it comes off. That's one of the reasons why I'm always marking them, is so I don't mix them up. Now we're gonna use some flux. Okay. Right, and for this we're going to use a piece of soldering braid, soldering wick they call it. And now we're going to use my soldering iron. I have it set at something close to 380. And just for this one, we're going to set it close to 400. Actually, 400 it'll be. I'm not a professional at this. I just do it because sometimes we run into these situations where there's no other options. I have tools to do Ford, which is pretty much the same system as the Jaguar that we're working on, but it would not be able to. It's not able to do the parameter reset with the IDS, and it's a Jaguar dealer tool, which I don't have, but I do have a soldering iron, so I'm just going to replace a microcontroller. So on these pads, I recommend you go in the direction of the pad. Don't go across it. You might lift it up. I cannot really tell you how much, I cannot explain to you how much pressure I'm putting in this, but it's fairly, it's barely it's minimum pressure that I'm doing here, just enough to lift up the solder and not damage the pads. This you can only do with some experience. I mean, if you're trying to do this, I recommend you practice on a different board, something that you can afford to mess up. All right, that's one. So remember, this is where we mark our components. There's something else I gotta do on this one. So you're gonna put some flux on it, and then you put it upside down, pick it up like this, and retouch the pins from the bottom. This is gonna draw all the solder back to the top of the chip, if there is any left. There'll be one side. And that'll be the other side. We're gonna let it cool down a little bit. And it's gonna be time to clean this board. Depending on what I'm trying to do, I will just spray it on the board or spray it on the towel. One, and that's going to be for the microcontroller. And I'll have to inspect this thing. Not batteries. Nope. Not ready yet. There's still some left over. It's way better. And we still got to do the other two sides. remove the excess and then use a clean one. Okay, now, if you remember, we marked this one that way. So we have the mark in there, and there's no mark on this board, because that's the way I usually identify them. So I do a mark on the microcontroller and on the board, and when I'm done, I'll make sure that the mark it's with the board that doesn't have any marks. So that's how you take it off. That's how you clean it. And now let's show how you put it back, how you solder it back. Okay. So we're gonna do a couple of pins first. I might have to block the camera because I won't be able to do it any other way. But this is how you do it. You gotta solder the first one of the corners. Okay, it's almost in place. And just a little bit. This thing is on the way. I don't think it's going to get any better than that. It's gotta get better than that. Let me see. Believe it or not, what I think is going to help is a little bit more solder here. Okay, got my two corners secured. Let me show you what I was doing. I was doing that, and those are the pins. They're a little bit off to the left, and those are good. I think there's a problem with the pins now. I mean, some of them are good, some of them are not lined up. Nope, it's gonna have to be. Well, let me see if it's all of them. It's just the bottom. Let's just do that corner a little bit more. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it like that. Let me show you again what I was trying to correct. What is it? I think that'd be good. It's a little bit off. I'm just gonna go for it. There's a capacitor that moved down there, right in the center of the screen. Okay, so that was the first part of it. Now we're gonna use some flux around the whole chip. Okay, and I'm gonna put some on that capacitor because I'm gonna resolder while I'm there. So we're not gonna touch those two corners. We're just gonna try to do the other ends first. That amount of solder should be enough. So with with good flux, you can drag your solder, and each pin is going to take as much as it needs solder to the board. Alright, there's a little bit of it left in there. We're not going to worry about that. Now you can touch the other corners. I'm trying to go slow so they get enough time to heat the pins, so we don't get any cold solders in there. There's also some residue on that one. We're going to take care of that at the end. And we run out of solder on this, so we know that all of them got soldered, so now we just gonna remove and clean the residue. Let me take a look in there very quick. Yep, looks all right. Time for more flux. When you're doing this is your best friend right here. So now I can see some pins that are connected. To another the function that I like the most out of my cell phone, which is the airplane mode. Okay, it doesn't want to come off. I could use the soldering wick to remove it. I'm not going to. So I can do it this way too. Okay, that's one of the rows. Let's see what else we can do without putting more flux in there. That's two. That's three. And the fourth one. Nope, all it needs is more flux. Come on. And a few more tries, I guess. There you go. Okay, now let's do capacitor. This one, without lifting it up, we're just gonna solder to both ends. It's gonna be 1 and 2. And it didn't work because you need more flux. I might need to hold it down a little bit. Okay. So this one had just moved out of position, so there we go. When it's soldered on both ends, you can see that you move it and it goes back to its place. Also, you can just heat up one end, push, and if it doesn't move, that means the other end is good. Alright. Almost there. I always let it cool down a little bit. I don't like to put anything really cold. It's not that hot. One area that you gotta be careful with and make sure it's not dirty, there's no residue, nothing. Well, all of it, right? But something that you gotta be very careful with, it's that component right there. Crystal oscillator, make sure that there's no residues around it. And just take a final look in there. Okay, there we go. Zoom it in. Can you pick that with the camera? Mm-hmm. Okay. What about there?
Yep.
Good? Okay. So let's take a look. Make sure there's no bridges between one and the other one. That's the whole side right there. See if we can get a good angle. So that's the top, which would be this one here. That, and then this one. Well, that's a good angle right there. Okay, that seems to be it. We're gonna put this back into the car. Not gonna show you that probably. The purpose of this video was not that. The purpose of this video was to show you that sometimes when you have a component that needs to be programmed and you cannot figure out a way to program, you can go into the brain of the thing and replace the brain. Sometimes you can get away by just replacing the EEPROM. How do you know when you have an EEPROM or you have or when you have an external EEPROM outside the microcontroller? Well, look for it. I mean, most EEPROMs are 8 pins. Most of them are this size. Some of them are different, right? Numbers that you're gonna find in there. It's gonna be 93s, 93C, 46, 56, 66, 76, 86. So 93C and all those numbers, that's one version of the ones you're gonna find. You're also gonna find 25 020s, 25 040s, 25 080s, 25s 160s, I guess, 320s, 640s, and the ones that you find with 25s, you're also going to find the same with 95s. 95s and 25s are interchangeable. 24s are different. 24s, you're going to find 24s as 04s, I think 16s and 32s. But that you can find online. If you have an external EEPROM, most likely all the information that makes that piece unique, it's inside that EEPROM. When you have the EEPROM that is built into the microcontroller, you gotta read the microcontroller or replace it. Okay. Hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, if you know that I did something wrong while doing this, because this is not what I'm not professional at anything, but I never studied how to do this. I mean, I just been doing it for so long that I just do it by myself and with no instructions, right? If you know that I did something wrong, post in the comments. We're going to be uploading this video to YouTube. Let us know if you want to see something specific. We'll see you next time. Thank you. All right, so we're back. I didn't know that we were going to have to continue with this video. But we just went to test this instrument cluster on the car, and it's good. So this is the one we just did, right? That's the capacitor that we were working on, and this is the mark that we had on it. So since this thing worked, I don't really know what this driver is for. But we checked it the other day. In the front, we didn't have anything different in the front. So anyways, I'm gonna replace these components over to this board. We're gonna clean this up for the capacitor that we have in there. Clear it. Yes. So capacitors do have polarity, so just remember the negative side goes towards the edge of it. And actually, let me turn the temperature up a little bit. This is not going. Nope. And doesn't seem to be willing to. Let's try the other way. What size is this? What fucking capacitor is this? This is a 330 35 volts. Do we have one?
I don't think we have some.
Let me try to take it off first. Oh, what's one? Strap allá, ¿no? La pistola esa. think you can smell through the video, but that was burning my tire.
That was the smell.
That was burning the tire on my wheelchair. Not enough. All right, then let's go with option number 3, which will be that I'm just gonna pull it up when I'm doing the transfer of the components. So let's see, rid of all this mess. And I'm gonna have to take that motor out. Sure, esa pistola para arriba, ¿no? Set it right here. Okay. We're not exactly done with this. Alright, turn it off this time. Make sure I put it far away. Let's go on with it. Since I'm going to transfer all of them, I'm just going to do it at the same time. Okay. You guys didn't see that, did you? Position this thing. Alright, now what else is missing? This diode. Let me do those and then we'll come back to the other ones. What happened there? Huh?
¿Qué le pasó?
I don't know. Alright, what else I'm missing? These components right here. Anything else? That's it, right? So we got these two. These two are missing.
What is the size of the?
What, the capacitor?
Yeah.
330 micro. 330. 330 to 35 volts. Okay, seems to be that this is all of them. No?
No. Did you say 330?
330 microfarads to 35 volts.
330, 35. I don't see nothing.
Anything bigger?
Not even bigger than the.
Let me try to take this off. recording that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me take it off. Nope. Don't tell me it's holding me the soldador, huh? Well, I'm gonna try to do it again now that it's a little bit hotter than before. Might be able to do it now, but it's warm. Can you heat it up? You just point it at this thing right here. I think it should be good. Nice. Can replace a freaking microcontroller, but I can't take a goddamn capacitor. It's almost out. This goddamn thing is freaking hot. It's loose already, you see it? Something pry it off. Do it at the end. And let me just redo these components, making sure they're soldered properly. Okay, so that's going to be good. That is good. Alright, that's about it. Then I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit. Negative side goes, I don't know if you can tell, but the pad, it's connected to this side of the board. You see, like it's like a cross. That's because this is your ground. So capacitor has a negative side, which is this side. You can see about that line. I'm just gonna hold it in place and then resolder it again. Alright, that'll be to hold it in place. And let's just retouch the other pin. Alright, that should do. And we're gonna inspect it and get on its way. That one's good. And I want to say that this is where we inspect things. One, two, three, four, 5 and 6 from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There's an issue there. That chip is a little bit off. Not a big deal. For me, right? What about the customer? It's gone. Believe me, it's gone. Alright, I'll show you. You don't believe me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Is it off? Yes, it is. Am I gonna leave it like that? Of course I will. What are we missing? Stepper motor. Pins. A lot of people make a living out of replacing stepper motors on instrument clusters. I used to do a lot of those in the past. I used to buy stepper motors by the box, which comes with 1,000. I still have some left. Huh? Where are they? I got some left in there.
Right here.
Hmm?
Right here.
And I'm missing another stepper motor right now. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those we didn't touch. That's in place. All that looks in place. Alright. Because that's it. You know what? Let me put it together so you can go test it in the car. Let me get that thing. All right. Yep. It is. That one's in place. It doesn't click. So all the clips are messed up. Seems to be in place. Now, it's been a while since I've done instrument cluster. That one's in place. Everything's good. And we're missing some pages. Can you drop them over here? Alright, we got enough. 2 clusters. Alright, so you're not gonna believe it. Look. See that?
To replace the step motor now.
Yeah. Put another one in there.
That's 2. The other one.
What is it?
I mean, that's 2.
2 what?
2 step motors, no? Or only 1?
I got 2 like that?
No. I'm gonna check on
How
those.
did that happen? But the other one came out of the other one. Nothing that we haven't done in the past. Right there. Let's see if I can get this freaking thing up. And made it. What are we gonna put in here? We have another one. Where is this? 615.589. Pretty sure this is the same that they go on them and the Mustang. Same as the Mustang.
I think I have some of those here.
Do we have any?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take off. I'm gonna take it off another one.
I think we have here. This is the ones now. Right.
Well,
yeah, right here.
you have more of like you fixing some clusters or
Is this one right here now?
we don't do. Yep.
You just need one, huh?
Yep. Okay. am I doing? It's not the one. Okay. Put this away. And put the replacement in there. And I have some solder somewhere. All right. And back to the same. Nope. This one goes way in there. Like that. Oh, that's one. Okay. Just in case you're wondering how we calibrate these gauges, these needles. Push them in. Another one from the other cluster. Before we took them off, we had to mark the position. So I'm gonna explain how you do it, just in case you ever had to do this. Alright, when you take it out of the car, you lift it up a little bit and then bring it down until it stops, okay? And when it stops, you mark it, and that's where you can take it off. I recommend you move it past so it'll break the seal that it's got with the shaft. So that would not happen. And then when you put it in, let's say that you put it in that position, right? And it's not stopping at the same position where it was, right? So if it's above, you just bring it down to the mark. And now it stops at the mark. If it stops below, the easiest thing to do, it'll be to go around. And now it stops at the mark. Okay? So right now, if I turn this needle, stepper motor inside, it's locked into the initial position. Stepper motor is not moving. The only thing that is moving is this. When I lift it up, stepper motor moves. When I bring it down, it's not move. It moves until it reaches that position. That position, it's not from the gauge. It's inside the stepper motor. It's stopping inside the stepper motor. Okay? That's how you do it. Gustavo, can you get here, please? Alright, can you give me that? We're gonna go test it again. And then put the screws on.
We just put him back right now. Or we just
keep it rolling. Déjalo de ahí para atrás, que Gustavo is too close for my comfort.
let's go to the car.